Sir, good morning.
Morning.
What are the parameters which decides the custody of minor child?
Before we go into that, the paramount consideration for appointment of a guardian under the Guardian and Wards Act is the welfare of the child. The term welfare doesn't mean only custody of the child, but welfare also means and includes education, medical care, and also the other benefits as which accrues to the benefit of the minor. Here, the one more important thing is naturally the understanding of many people is that the mother is the natural guardian as far as the child is concerned. But once the relationship between the couple gets estranged, the question arises where the child should stay. Because of the hatred syndrome between the couple, the child should not suffer. So the paramount consideration for appointment or custody of the child is the welfare of the child. And for this purpose, it has to be taken into consideration where the child last lived with the father or with the mother. Here in the particular case, which is a landmark judgment of the Supreme Court decided on 29/7/2022, here what happened was the father was a naturalized citizen of USA and the couple were living together after marriage, and a male child was born to the couple, and subsequently differences and disputes arose between the couple and they got estranged, and the mother, without the permission of the father, took away the child to Bangalore, and then the father filed a complaint before the concerned authorities in Washington stating that his child was kidnapped in his absence. Then subsequently what happened was the father filed a case in Washington asking for custody of the child, and he also contended that the child lived with him for almost a decade and was used to the father's habits and also the scenario prevailing in USA, and also said that he is very much attached to the child and he cannot live without the child. But the mother, without keeping quiet, she filed an FCOP before the Bangalore High Court, Bangalore High Court and also the Family Court initially, and asked for the custody of the child. In the meanwhile, the husband obtained an ex parte decree against the mother, against his wife, and asking the child to be brought to USA. Then the US court ordered for custody of the child, and then the custody was to be given to the father in USA. Then subsequently, the wife preferred a motion challenging the order passed by the US court. And also she said that the US court has no jurisdiction to decide matters regarding the custody of the child. Then the father also, what he did was, he filed her petition was dismissed. Then she filed an FCOP before the FCOP or GWOP before the Bengaluru court asking for the custody of the child. Then the Bengaluru court dismissed her application. Then the father filed an application before the family court at Bengaluru asking for the custody of the child and for implementation of the orders of the US court. Then initially the family court dismissed his application, against which he went to the High Court, and the High Court also dismissed the application, and the matter came up before the Supreme Court. The only question that arose for decision by the Supreme Court was what is meant by the word welfare. The Supreme Court interpreted by saying welfare doesn't mean only custody of the child. It also means the upbringing of the child, the financial capacity of the father, the suitability of the father, and also consideration that the education, medical and other benefits of the minor has to be taken into consideration. And the Supreme Court categorically held that the welfare of the child is to remain with the father in USA because he has got used to the habits in USA and the father is more attached to the child, and because of the estrangement between the couple, the child should not suffer, and ultimately the child was asked to be brought to USA and to be handed over to the father. So this is a landmark judgment which negated the rights of a woman for automatic guardianship. Here, no doubt, no one disputes the position of a mother because no one can substitute the place of the mother. But sometimes what happens is the father may be more suitable than the mother, and welfare has to be taken into consideration. So, on those considerations, the Supreme Court negated the orders of the High Court and ordered the custody of the child to the father and asked the woman to hand over the child in USA to the father. This is what was decided by the Honorable Supreme Court, and it's almost a landmark judgment regarding the welfare, custody, so on and so forth. So this was decided in the case of Rohit Rohit
Taman Gowda.
Rohit
Rohit Taman Gowda.
Rohit Taman Gowda was the
Versus-
state of Karnataka, and the date of judgment is 29/7/2022.